It's me again. After doing the book tag thing, I decided that I would probably redo my library a little bit, because my last one was really short and it didn't go into any detail. So once again, my library. Let's see if I can back up enough so I can actually show you what my library looks like. Just so you're aware. I also have books everywhere, like in my bedroom, the kitchen, the bathroom, and the living room. But this is the majority, well, I guess you could tell, my library. The first section here, all here, will probably be supernatural, so you can probably tell by, let's see, The Haunted, Canada 3, Canadian Haunted Stories, Spooky Canada, Illustrated History of Ghosts, what is this? The Secret History of Lucifer, Werewolves, Taking the Red Pill, Science, Philosophy, and Religion. And then A Zombie Ate My Cupcake. So that's like, I just gotta pull that out. A Zombie Ate My Cupcake. 25 weird cupcake recipes. And trust me, they're weird. They're awesome. I'm gonna try them again this year. Anyway, so I have World War Z, The Zombie Survival Guide, Divining the Future, so that'd be like runes and various tarot readings, The Art of Divination. Then I have Nostradamus. Everyone has Nostradamus, don't you? And then Elemental Powers, Power Deck, Witches Tarot, and then Finding New Goddesses. It was actually a hysterical little book. Ashfaltia, the Goddess of Parking Lots. I think that was a really good idea. The Book of Goddesses, the Rune Book, Edgar Casey, Celtic Book of the Dead, which is actually a phenomenal little tarot thing. Love is in the Earth, so it's all crystals. Joy of Sex. So these are, secret societies and all whatnot. And then Exploring the Northern Traditions, which is just kind of a Viking take on witchcraft, because I am a witch. I don't know if you're aware of that. A Witch Alone, more tarot, and then an ancient book. An Introduction to World History. And then I have the Central Carrier Language, Palmistry for Pleasure. This is actually over 100 years old, as is this one. And it's character indications. So it's handwriting analysis. I don't know where I got this one. The Canadian Verse. I don't know, maybe it was from school. Angel Numbers, the Runes, How to Use Tarot, Celtic Tree Oracle, Blue Day Book. I think that's it for that shelf. So that's kind of my witchy kind of bookcase, or shelf. And down here, I'm just gonna get myself a little comfy here. I have more crystal medicine, Vedic astrology, souls, Celtic magic. This is kind of my astrology section, because I used to be really into astrology. I haven't done it for a long time. So astrology, keywords for astrology, beginner's guide to astrological interpretations, More Love is in the Earth, Working with Your Dreams. I was really curious about that one. It's more about how to lucid dream. And then Discovering Your Inner Arthurian Legend, Ladies of the Lake. And then, let's see if I can do this. There. I kind of should have brought these out more, but Soul Purpose Astrology, it's okay, it's not awesome. Meet Your Planets is actually an historical book. The House book, so when you're doing astrological charts, you can figure out what the houses mean. This is actually astrological mandala, so every single degree in the whole chart actually has a meaning, and this one tells you exactly what the meaning is. And then you have karmic astrology. My arm is getting tired. I'm only on the second shelf. There. So more karmic astrology. Their first one was moon nodes. And then this one is joy and the part of fortune. And this is retrogrades and reincarnation. And then I have the asteroid goddesses. So it doesn't just go into like the planets. It actually goes into our asteroids that kind of circle the sun. And then we have Chiron, which is an actual asteroid. And then astrology for the soul. And then the life you were born to live. So it kind of gives you an indication of what your chart could mean. And more aspects of personality. So those are like trines and squares and conjunctions and stuff. And more another book on how astrological houses. And then the ephemeris from the 1900s here to 2000, and this one is 2000 to 2050. Can you see? So that charts the movements of all the planets from 1900 to 2050. And then the 13th sign, which is different from the other 13th sign. And then we have herbs and healing herbs. And then the complete restaurateur. I was going to open a restaurant at one point. I changed my mind. And then there's Chinese system of food cures. And then the artist's way. I haven't actually read that one yet. I always wanted to though. And then let's come down here. Move you guys up so I can actually get in here. There. So, again, I should have brought all of this stuff out before I started this video. There. And then you can actually see it. There goes a penny. Anyway. So, Wicca. And then these two are actually the first one and the sequel. So they're just more of a shamanic kind of take on the craft. Writing and the spiritual life. Transformation, so basically your meditation guide. And then shamanism, the book of the biology of transcendence. So it kind of goes into the biology of what happens when you meditate and concentrate on your spirit. And then creating your own personal text, because I was going to write one a long time ago. Never actually got around to it. I should probably do that. And then the witch's god and goddess. And then because I'm kind of an environmentalist, kind of like a tree hugger sort of deal, I'm the way of the green goddess. And then crystal healing. And fasting. And wedding rituals. And that's the first half. There. And then fairy folk, which everyone is curious about the fairy folk. And then when the comets come, so that's kind of a Armageddon, end of the world kind of deal, what everyone foresees for 2012, but it was written in the 1990s, so it's really different. The Arthurian quest, because I was really obsessed with Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table for a long time. As you can see, I also have the 21 Lessons of Merlin, which ties into that. And then these guys are more shamanic experiences. So I have the Mutant Message Down Under. So a lady goes into the Australian outback and she has to learn to discover her spiritual side. And then the Urban Shaman, which means just a book on instead of going out into the forest, because if you're not really near a forest, then how can you be a shaman? But it's helpful. And then Basics Shamanic Experience. Again, Fairy Wicca, which I always thought was really cool. yonks ago. Very, very long time ago. And then the complete book of magical names. A Harmony of Angels, which I think is very uplifting and happy. Ew. Okay, the Handbook of the Spiritual Traveler, which is really informative. And then the Celestine Prophecies and the 10th Insight, which are awesome books. I thought they were really fantastic. And then we get into more of the actual Wiccan side of things. So, Stir a Magic Cauldron, Head Witchery, To Ride a Silver Broomstick, by my favorite authors, which is Silver Ravenwolf, The Solitary Witch. Awesome reference material. And then Animals Speak, which kind of gives you, kind of ties in with the shamanic edge of it, but animals, their signs and their symbols and their meaning of what they are in your life. Whew. I can do this. These guys, let's get this out of the way. Alright. So all these are actually by my very favorite author. Let's see if I can get it all out. So, this is Dreamwalker. Oops. Whispered Wisdom. And it's actually by Mary Summer-Rain. And Mary Summer-Rain is she takes the basics of spirituality and breaks them down to a point where anyone at any advancement or beginners or, you know, they can all relate to what it is that she's saying and learn something new. It doesn't matter if it's like, if you're advanced or if you're a beginner. She breaks everything down to a point where everything makes perfect sense in the spiritual realm. Anyway, so she wrote The Seventh Messa, which had awesome ideas, thoughts pertaining to the beginning of civilization and such. And then she has Earthway, which is a herbal balance guide, mind, body, soul, health. And then she has Daybreaker, Spirit Song. If you're going to start with Mary Summer-Rain, you would start with Spirit Song, because that's her very first book. And then it goes into Trine in Twilight. Ugh. And then we have, let's see if we can do this. The Dead Sea Scrolls in various forms. And the Nag Hammadi, which is kind of like the Dead Sea Scrolls, but different. And then The Coming of the King, because he was too big to fit anywhere else. So that is my first book. This is kind of like my spiritual, forbidden knowledge, idealistic, young approach to spiritualism from eons ago. And yeah, there. And then this, I think I'm going to stop filming and start another segment.